Hey everyone, it's Jen here. I'm going to do a pick a card for what is their problem. I find myself I find myself doing that. What is their problem? What is their deal? Like what's going on here? Um, so the first one I have the Anna K Tarot. For group 1, group 2 is the Pagan Tarot, and group 3 is the Steampunk Tarot. And we're going to jump right in with group 1 and the Anna K Tarot. I really like the Anna K Tarot. It's so interesting though, because some of the cards are so bright and sunny, and then, whoa, some are really dark. And so right now, I guess that's a message that maybe this person kind of has two different sides to them. Like sometimes they're just this really great and awesome and fun, but then they can really go to a dark place. That's not fun. I don't find that type of volatility very fun personally. Let's see, 5 of Pentacles. They could be really bad with money. They could have fallen on just hard times and are really struggling with money. It really stresses them out. Maybe they grew up with not much or something. Just had struggles growing up, and so they may just carry the trauma of never having enough or not having enough, and that could just be a constant worry that is underlying this lack mentality. They could be a little proud and not want to ask for help, and maybe sort of when they're struggling with something, they really sort of shut down and withdraw. And so that could be some of the things they're doing. It may not have anything to do with you, but not everyone can deal with people who just sort of check out anytime something's bothering them. Especially if you're codependent like I am. I'm like, what is it? It must be me. The World. So the world is a phase in life to me. So when I look back over my life, I sort of categorize different parts of my life. It could be high school. It could be when I lived in this place. It could be, college. It could be when I worked at this job, when I lived with these roommates, when I was hanging out with this particular friend or group of friends, or, we all do that. And so I feel like this person is sort of in a transition between one part of their life and another, and maybe feeling a little lost or a little alone, or I feel like they're just kind of, maybe they're having their Saturn return. So that would be like around your late 20s, and then into your getting close to around 60, or mid 50s to 60. Anyway, sort of depends on, there's a range because of your birth chart. But so it could be a little bit of a midlife crisis type action, which you can have sort of these times in your life where, you kind of question everything, and what am I doing, and what's going on, and life's too short. And the pandemic can definitely be the catalyst for these types of thoughts. So they may just really struggling with direction, not really, just having trouble figuring out which way to turn. And their problem could be that they're really really kind of having a dark night of the soul. Justice. This is interesting. So what came to me is this could be a divorce finalizing. Could be some sort of legal action that happened. Could be some sort of karma. We do have, this is a timeless reading, but I'm reading this the end of February, and there is a full moon in Libra on March 28th. They may have fucked up. they may have fucked up and are kind of having to deal with that and come to grips with that. So I feel like this person is really in a time where they just have a lot going on, and you're probably not, your needs and wants and wishes and things like that are not, they're not able to give that time and energy to you. They really need to handle some things and deal with some things and work through some issues and on their own and get some their shit together and some stuff straightened out. So I really see like what the hell's like this person may have a lot going on, and sometimes you don't even we don't really know people and necessarily what their inner demons are, what they're dealing with inside. There could be a lot more going on than you realize. Okay, so that was group 1. We will move on to group 2. I need to write down the time. 6. Okay, group 2, we are going to look, what is their problem? What the hell's going on with them? And this could be anyone. It doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. Oh, so that's coming out. What's going on with them? Okay, let's take a look. 7 of Pentacles. They're being patient. They're working on something. They may have something going on in their life that they're really focused on. I mean, it could be anything. It could be any sort of goal that they've been working on for a while. So this is something that they are not going to just. This is something important to them. This is not something that is negotiable or flexible, and it could be pretty all-consuming for them. And that might be something that's confusing you a little bit or hard to deal with, because it seems maybe to you out of proportion. But to them, it's really either a labor of love or something they have to do for themselves, and it will, in a lot of cases, come first for them. This card can also be read as has a little bit of a timing issue to it, and they may be trying to weigh if they've given something, if they need to be more patient, or if they've given something enough time to know whether it's right or not, to whether to keep putting time and energy into it. They may be withdrawing a little bit and taking some time to figure this out. I don't know if they're necessarily telling you that, but if they've kind of seem a little like there's a space, a separation, that they've stepped back a little, they've pushed you away a little bit, or they've stepped back a little bit. It could be that they feel like they're at a place where they need to make a decision, and they may need some time to make that decision. So it's up to you whether you're willing to wait. There's no telling how long it will take. This is interesting. This is the marriage card. So this person, This person may be really weighing if it's a relationship. Is this I feel like it's kind of a now or never. Do I want to truly commit or not? So there could be a timing thing coming up with someone's lease coming up or taking a job. This came up for something else, for someone else, um, where you're trying to, it may kind of force a, how serious are we? How it may force sort of these questions. I don't know if it's prematurely, but it's sort of forcing some things I think that you've been wanting to talk about, and maybe you have and just haven't brought it up, or maybe you have and it hasn't really gone anywhere. So it's kind of like this is either going to definitely move forward or definitely not. I feel like that sort of decision. It's either going to move on to the next level or not happen at all. I mean, this looks very positive. Um, when the decision's made, it's it's solid, I guess is what I want to say. The Lovers, yeah, wow. This could be a choice. This definitely could be a choice of the heart, but the Lovers is commitment. So it's like they're trying to decide, is this who I want to commit to? It could be a situation. It doesn't have to be a love relationship, but it feels that way with this reading, with the marriage card and the Lovers. Um, because it's one thing to say I do, but it's another thing. Am I really committing to this person and all the little choices I make every day for the rest of the time we're together? Is that something I can do, want to do? Will it be easy to do? Um, Etc. So this could be or an earth sign person, someone who's just methodical about things. We also have Gemini, and that could be a fire sign. That's an interesting, if there is that, an earth sign and a fire sign, there's a tension there because, of course, everyone's birth chart's different, but the fire sign's going to be more spontaneous, a little more like, yeah, come on, let's go for it, let's do it. It doesn't mean they're being foolish, but they're just more often optimistic and ready to move and take action. Whereas earth signs they're earth, they're grounded, they're slower. They want to make sure they really know someone, that there's a solid foundation. So it can be a really nice mix, actually, balance each other out, but it can also show where the differences are. That can, if you always feel like you're being held back by the other person, or the other person feels like they're being pushed all the time, that could make for some um, long days ahead. So I feel like they're trying to figure this out, if they can pay that price of admission. Okay, we're going to move on to group 3. And group 3. Okay, group 3. Let's see, what the hell's their problem? What's going on with this person? This could be romantic. It doesn't have to. Just if something resonates, great. If not, that's okay. Or maybe watch one. I always like to watch when I watch pick a cards, which I really like. That's why I started doing them, because I was like, I really like these. Hey, I'm a card reader. I could actually do these myself. I tend to watch all of them, which is probably goes against the pick a card, but whatever. I'm a Sag. I don't necessarily follow rules. I believe are arbitrary. Okay, Steampunk. I always get good readings. This is a deck that I wasn't sure I would like, because the whole Steampunk era is like very dirty and industrial, and I like nature and things like that more. And um, but I really actually really like reading with this deck. Nine of Wands. They're waiting for something. They're not going to settle. Um, oh my God, this is so funny. I just this is someone like in a work situation that everyone like they need to be fired, but they're the person who's just going to sit there and be like, I'm not leaving. You're going to have to fire me. You know what I mean? So in a relationship, it could be that this person, you're going to have to be the one to end the relationship because they'll just sit there miserable. They'll wait you out. Oh, it's a stubborn energy. I'm not liking this at all. It also can be read as someone who's waited for you. And you may, what am I getting? I almost feel like this person may snap at you. Okay, this could be someone that always liked you or had a crush on you, and you were oblivious to it. And unknowingly, maybe you say something because you just think they're a friend because you have no idea. You have no idea they think of you that way. Or maybe they've even, because they aren't very, maybe they kept it to themselves and maybe even were trying to cover it up, that they did something that where you were like, oh, okay, I'm not even sure they like me at all. You know what I mean? So they may just think that you're being callous towards them. You may think, well, they don't like me at all that way. In fact, I'm not even sure they like me, so I'm going to sort of withdraw from them. But they're really, and maybe you start dating someone else. Oh, a tangled web. But they do really like you. They just don't know how to do it, how to say it, and it's created, I feel like, a whole confused, complicated situation that could have been handled if someone just spoke the fuck up and was truthful about things. I feel like neither of you, this is a young sword energy. So, I mean, it is messages, text messages. It could be that a text came across weird and then the other person, maybe you both think you're ghosting each other. Maybe the other one's waiting for the other one to text, but you're thinking, well, the last time I texted, they didn't text me back, and they're thinking they read it wrong, and they're like, well, okay, they don't want me to text them back, or they didn't feel like it required a text back, and maybe they had started that chain, which you kind of forgot in some way, and so they're kind of waiting for you to make the next move. Oh my God, the drama. So I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication and misunderstanding that have led to this sort of standoff. Seven of Wands. Well, yeah, there's stubbornness here. They are not apologizing, or you are not apologizing. There's just a hard line, line drawn in the sand. Nope. There was some either deal breaker or miscommunication, and because of the stubbornness, I mean, their problem is that they think you owe them an apology, and you think they owe you an apology, but you guys really, I don't know. There's a lot of miscommunication here, and if you guys could just talk. And this could be a friend. That again, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. If you could just talk, could be even a family member. I think it can be worked through, but it's gonna take. I mean, I almost see these mountains like I have to move mountains to get this situation. I don't know. You have to figure out if it's worth it or not. Is the relationship really worth it? And if it is, to kind of go in with no expectations. I'm not a big, if this was a romantic relationship, I don't feel like this was though. I feel like it like kind of started or almost started, or there was something there, but something got confused. So it never really took off. Like maybe you guys hung out and you weren't sure if it was a date or not, and something made you think it wasn't, and then you started dating someone else, something like that. But I think it was a misunderstanding. So I'm not a fan of closure. So at all, I think it's keeping the drama alive. But I do think this is a misunderstanding, and that's their problem. Um, is that you guys there's a lot of assumptions being made and backstory being filled in from your life, and not really having any idea where they're coming from or what they're thinking. Okay, group 3. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. So thanks for joining me. If you like these videos and have ideas for more, where's my cursor? Pick a card. I'd love any ideas in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take care.